and I am checking out how the mic situation works. Mic check, mic check. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 3. This is just a test. um. Oh, seating is making me look quite bloated. Or maybe I am bloated. um. So I actually have to test and see if my headphones are working as the mic, or if it's my phone's microphone that's working as the mic. I've been having some audio issues over on Instagram, so this is just a test. I might say something deep. I might do some energy work. I might, give some information about the cosmic interplay that is our universe, right? I'm also testing audio on this thing. I hope I didn't show my screen, and I didn't, so that's it's kind of crazy. Um, I have this open. Good gravy. Okay, it's a lot of stuff, and that's just kind of a testament for the world around us. Um, you know, when when you live in chaos, and this is the time of the cleanup, the great cleanup, we'll call it. We're all those of us who are not in direct, consistent physiological turmoil. Okay, because I'm gonna use that as the preface, preface, preface. Anyway, um, when you're not in direct and constant turmoil, the nervous system and the body itself has an issue with relaxation, and so that's okay. Understanding how trauma works, understanding how stress is in the body, it's beautiful because it gives you the opportunity to explore it within yourself. There's a lot of cut and dry responses as to how things need to be and how it's going to work in order for you to have that health and that wealth and all these things that you're um, going for. But the only thing that's point and click is your computer or your phone. And nothing has really been that way since the dawn of time. It all takes time. It also takes planning and forethought and effort to be consistent. So, my goals with this platform to remain consistent. And so, any of you who are watching this and see this, you have the opportunity to hold me accountable, right? Because the goal is to help as many people as possible attain that which is attainable by us as humanity. It's time for us to grow. It's time for us to expand and evolve. We're co evolving as a species. And so, in some places, you can see the de-evolution of man, the straight into fight or flight or violence, or how things are flowing. Just understanding your worth is all that matters. Whether you work with me or you work with somebody else, as long as you're working with yourself and you understand your value, that's all that's important. It's it can be a complicated road when you have experienced different levels of trauma in this human experience and you realize that it's not ideal. And as humanity starts to shift and move its way through our conscious evolution, it's okay. I think I'm gonna turn it down. I mean, I could turn this off and turn it on again and turn it off and turn it on again, like the video, getting the live started, just to see how things are going on the other side. Or I could just keep flowing with this. So, in terms of downloads, right? The downloads of humanity. For the person who's there, can you say hi? I don't know if you can hear me or not. I'm working on some audio stuff. That's why I'm wearing a headphone. um, but yeah, so having grace with oneself, doing the basic reparenting work, um, doing the shadow work, which involves summary parenting, right? When you give yourself permission to feel and see and experience with a non judgmental space and realizing this is part of your humanness, this is part of your evolution, our evolution as people, we can actually step into the light of our consciousnesses together. See, one strand is easily broken, but many strands, well, baby, that makes a rope, and that makes a really strong rope. And our energy fields work like that. Our consciousness works like that. And our consciousness is more fluid like water. So we're always taking in as well as giving those levels, the depths of true gifts of understanding. And when you really let yourself break open and break free and feel, you know when something is off, even within yourself. Something's like, what is that? Day. Got to go through the day. Huh, but I feel something is off. How do I check in with that? Just take some breaths. If it doesn't shift with the breath, find out where it's sitting in the body. When you find out where it's sitting in the body, you can either touch the spot or, even kind of like tap it. Um, you can say, have I had any injuries there? Are there any things that I have been subjected to? Um, and then let your mind expand and open into a space of, whoa, what if I've been stabbed there in another life? And da 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 da, right? Because in reality, everything has happened to everyone at any given moment in time. And when you accept that and you extrapolate that data, hey there, love you guys, welcome back. When you extrapolate that data, you can actually start to shift the consciousness that you can shift the consciousness that you are accepting in this reality. You can turn your moment into that state of peace and acceptance and breathe space into it for everyone as collective consciousness, as bodies of water, as infinitely as much space. Like if you're looking at how the atoms are set up, right? You're more space than you are physical material. So the concept of shifting consciousness is as simple as taking those breaths into those spaces when something feels uncomfortable. And sometimes we don't hold that uncomfortability. Sometimes it belongs to someone else. And as the age of the empath, as the age of the neurodivergent, the pattern seeking, the how can we put this together to spare ourselves and save on to extra space, you can actually get into the realm of allowing there to be more. I don't know who is going on or what is going on in these messages, but there's a lot of weird messages. So, in terms of that, if I go into that space, right, so I'll show you active alchemy. Okay. Hmm. Okay. So I'm feeling it in the gut, right, or in the solar plexus. I'm feeling it open and release. Oh, it's tapping into a childhood wound of being misunderstood or not truly knowing what's happening and feeling like I'm not in control. Because I'm not in control of who's able to really see this feed, who's able to see this space. And it's okay. It's okay for me to not know, but to trust the process and getting into the motion of what it is to do the lives and what it is to stay on point. Now, of course, I'm thinking I need notes to stay there, and I'm thinking I need to make sure I have um, moderators in the process, but it's okay to learn from this lesson. It's all right. I haven't really built branding. right? I have built speciality. I'm not a tarot reader. I am not. I am a divine oracle who also has a lot of earthly knowledge in order to. My son plays that earthly knowledge. I told him I would play that if he on his channel got like 100,000 subscribers. I told him I would play Roblox or something with him. I used to call it Roboblocks. Is that funny? Anyway, getting into the space of being able to do a live, getting comfortable sharing the knowledge, because there's different types of clairs, there's different types of information that's sent, and there's also physical knowledge. Like I have a ridiculous amount of I have a ridiculous amount of degrees, and a lot of world knowledge, just as you have knowledge. Oh, do I look like a gamer because I'm wearing headphones? I'm checking out my audio, right? I'm checking to see if it sounds better with my headphones or just my phone for my live. But I'm not a gamer. What do I look like a gamer? Do I look like I'm good at stuff? Like I was like this, clickety clack clack. Is that what they say these days? I actually got into gaming because somebody teased me when I was a kid. I used to really like Mario and stuff, and so I'm older. I might be older than I look. Who knows? Can you tell? I got my wisdom showing. My one little gray. I think I got two. It looks like it. Somebody's like, "Do you have stuff in your hair?" It's like, I have gray hair. But I earned them. I earned them. I don't even know what that means. Like for real, in like real life. I could probably roll over. Roll over. But I'll go back into the space of energy work, energy healing, and consciousness, and shifting epigenetics, epigenetic reprogramming, showing up even when you don't want to, even when you have all these reasons to say how unperfect you are. There's a good reason to show up and create a new pattern. So, oh, I wasn't understood. I was learning how to feel into the fact that I didn't have full control, and realizing that maybe now I hold on to control, and knowing that that lends itself to perfectionism, and it's okay that things don't turn out exactly the way I want them to. I can still allow consciousness to grow and shift and change. I can still create spaces where it feels like there are none. I can still take my power back in the moment of now through the awkwardness, through the shifting, through the uncomfortability. And I can do that through just feeling into this moment. Do you? And now let's talk about reframing. So this is really simple, but it actually takes a whole lot of training to reframe. So reframing. So in lines with that, feeling out of control, not fully understanding, you get to go into a space of who is me now? Where is the moment now? I'm reclaiming my power now. And reclaiming it means I'm in a safe place. I have control over nothing but myself and my response to the situation. Can you hear me? I don't know. Can you hear me with the dogs? I don't know. Can you hear me with music? I don't know. Am I understood in terms of how to do the shifting? Because I do it in real life energetic spaces. But I know that as I grow in this process and I accept and receive feedback from the environment, right? I'll be able to fine tune and work into where the power lies so the message gets directly to you. I can go into the whole, oh, nobody will listen, maybe I'm too weird, or maybe this and this and this and that and this, but I don't need to. I've trained my brain enough, right? Because you have to train your brain because it is constantly seeking patterns, it is constantly seeking understanding and familiarity to keep the self safe. Now, the self has various forms of ego and id and all of this, but in reality, the only thing that matters is you in this moment having this power given to you by the multiple generations that have created you. And it's up to you to act according to what it is you want the future generations to have. If that means consistency, if that means pushing beyond whatever you have known or experienced, it's completely possible based on the fact that there is more of space and possibility and electrons pumping in and out of existence, just like it's just like light is a particle in a wave. Right? We have the ability to navigate this. We have the ability to control how we let our body receive information. We can receive it without fully taking it on. You can be an empath and be unmoved. You can completely be understanding, understand the situation, and still act according to the will. You can be completely under pressure and you can form the hardest, most brilliant, most multifaceted diamond of you through the simple act of being and showing up and being consistent. But first, because a lot of us are cerebral, we've been taken out of the body and put into the mind. Right? We think about how will we be perceived? How is all of this working? How does this flow? Children do not think that way. They just go, I got the feelings, I got the this, I got the that, right? And they learn to cry, and we give them words. We help them have understanding, and we grow with them. But they also trigger and help us remember what it was like as we are children, just like if you have a pet or a plant. And some of us are just allowing ourselves to discover ourselves and realize that you're also limited by your language, right? Language is the limiting factor because there are words in certain language that just don't exist in other languages. And that's important to know because that still leaves the space for more. The fact that there are differences means that there can be even more differences. The fact that there are sameness means that there can even be more sameness. It's an ever evolving, twisted yet somewhat logically illogical system. Now, it's not always balanced, but it seeks balance, it seeks homeostasis. And we collectively, as humanity, get to shift what we think the balance is. So, once we get through the shifting of the mental balance, we can then go into the staying present and allowing the change to take place, acting according to how we see those shifts again. And what's beautiful about the system is it's really beautiful is that it is not flawed. We may feel like it is flawed. We may feel as if we've had flawed experiences. But in reality, we've just had experiences and we get to retune because, sometimes we're not fully attuned with our environment or our situation, our experience, and we can choose to tune into that We can choose to find our flow in that space. And it's as simple as doing the work we just spoke about. The reframing, the reorganization, the allowing for more, the experiencing, learning to be in the body. A lot of people have been disembodied since in the womb. They come in, but they haven't fully been able to be present because of the traumas of the mother. What the mother experiences, the child and the new being coming into this planet experiences. What we witness, what we know to be true, because we are all unity, just as we are separate. So when one does something to someone or something externally, it does happen within the self. So what are we wanting to be heard about? What are we wanting to be seen about? What do we want to feel? A lot of people are stuck right now in the lower part of the system of wanting to feel the root, the connectedness, but they'll seek any means to do it. They think cash, this somewhat physical, somewhat etheric being controls whether or not they are here and safe. But even when you, well, when they say when there's a will, there is a way. When God is for me, who can be against me? You know, and things open and move into that space. But it's about what that vibration is that they're holding, that they allow in. People want love, but they haven't gone through the shadow work and reparenting to say, what do I define love as? Is it just movies that I grew up with? How is it how my parents did love or my caregivers did love? And then they expect it to be different without having understand that their nervous system is used to, let's say, trauma or abuse or gaslighting or XYZ. And so they attract a certain person because they haven't put and let go of certain aspects of their frequency, their thought patterns, their position, their epigenetics, right? They haven't let go of that to entrain their nervous system to have something else and to hold it, right? So sometimes people say, oh, I met the love of my life, but then I did these horrible things and I self sabotaged and I got rid of them because your nervous system wasn't ready to hold that to capacity. You didn't understand that you even had the flaws, right? Became you and them. And there's nothing that's more triggering than an intimate relationship to bring up all of your issues, right? That's the beauty of intimacy because into me I see, and so does the other person. But they also have their set of triggers, they also have their set of responses. And you have met on a frequency that says, I want to love and be loved, but maybe this is what I think it looks like. I think it's really hard, I would say, especially for men these days, to be able to explore and understand the what they have not witnessed. A lot of parenting styles were forced into aloha, um, singlehood, right? Single parenting. And that itself means there's not a model of either the masculine or the feminine, what a mother is, what a father is. And sometimes the stress put on that individual has shown the child what the toxic version of that is. And we all deserve to have that beautiful, balanced parental experience, but often people aren't getting that because the parents themselves. Did I get frozen? I mean, my counter's going again, but my camera's kind of stuck. This is weird. Okay, let's try it again.